Hurricane Katrina, America's deadliest storm. In August 29, 2005, a date etched in infamy in American history. Hurricane Katrina, a monster born in the warm waters of the Atlantic, was about to unleash its fury on the Gulf Coast. What followed was a tragedy of biblical proportions, forever changing the face of New Orleans and exposing the fragility of our infrastructure and society. The landfall. Katrina began as a tropical depression on August 23rd, but quickly grew into a behemoth. By August 28th, it had become a Category 5 hurricane, with winds reaching 175 miles per hour. The Gulf Coast braced for impact, but no one could have predicted the devastation to come. As Katrina slammed into the coast, the sea rose up in rage. Storm surges of up to 28 feet overwhelmed the levees protecting New Orleans. The city's flood defenses, long neglected and underfunded, crumbled under nature's assault. Water poured into the bowl, the low-lying areas of New Orleans, drowning entire neighborhoods. The scene was apocalyptic. 80% of New Orleans lay underwater. Tens of thousands were stranded, clinging to rooftops or huddled in the squalid conditions of the Superdome. The dead floated in the toxic floodwaters, while the living faced dehydration, starvation, and lawlessness. As days passed without adequate federal response, society began to break down. Looting was rampant, and reports of violence spread like wildfire. The world watched in shock as the richest nation on Earth seemed unable to help its own citizens. The final death toll reached 1,833, making Katrina one of the deadliest natural disasters in U.S. history. But numbers can't capture the true cost. Families torn apart, communities destroyed, and a city's soul battered, but not broken. The failures. Katrina exposed glaring weaknesses in disaster preparedness and response. The evacuation plan failed those without cars or means to leave. FEMA's response was slow and inadequate. Local, state, and federal officials pointed fingers while people suffered. Katrina left scars that may never fully heal. It exposed racial and economic disparities, the fragility of our infrastructure, and the consequences of ignoring climate change. As we rebuild and remember, Katrina stands as a stark reminder of nature's power and our duty to protect our most vulnerable. New Orleans has risen again, but it's forever changed. The ghosts of Katrina still haunt its streets, a grim warning of what happens when we underestimate the fury of nature and overestimate our ability to control it.